and welcome to Rewiring Neurons. This is your own channel of personal progress and professional growth. And I am Dr. Anju Shukla. I am expertise in emotional intelligence. Also, I'm an NLP practitioner and a coach, and I'm also a life coach. So I welcome you all to this episode of Rewiring Neurons. So lately I've been getting a lot of DMs and people have really wanted me to talk about a topic which is very close to my heart, and I'd love to deliberate and discuss on this topic. The topic relates to emotional intelligence, and you won't believe, it's very surprising a lot of times that people who have got an expertise in this area, that is emotional intelligence, they also are sometimes confused, or probably they are misinformed about few facts of emotional intelligence. So in this series, in fact in this episode of mine, I'll try and discuss few of the myths which exist in emotional intelligence. Also, I will like to complete this series on emotional intelligence, which I have specifically planned for all my listeners, and this is going to be a very enriching experience as far as emotional intelligence is concerned. So I'm going to bring this and a lot more in the coming series, but today's series very specifically is devoted and dedicated to myths or misconceptions about emotional intelligence. You will be surprised to know that there exists so many misinformation as far as emotional intelligence is concerned. So I'll just like to start with the fact that there are few people who tend to confuse personality traits with emotional intelligence. For example, something like agreeableness, optimism, happiness, calmness, motivation. These are traits of a personality of a person, but few people tend to misread or misunderstand this as few of the traits of emotional intelligence. And it has to be made very clear that personality traits are different, emotional intelligence traits are again very different, or probably we can say that emotional intelligence is different from personality traits. So this was one to begin with. The major myths about emotional intelligence are the ones which I'm going to state now. The very first is, people think that emotional intelligence is all about controlling your emotions or probably suppressing these emotions, which is absolutely not true. We'll discuss in the coming episodes that it's not about controlling or probably suppressing, but it is more about managing your emotions so that your emotions are in favor of you as compared to against you. Also, few people feel that when you practice emotional intelligence, you always get into the zone of judging people. So that is what not emotional intelligence is all about. It's not about judging people, right? It is about understanding people, if we want to put it in the most simple way, but it's not about judging people at all. Also, emotional intelligence is not about emotional manipulation of people. People think that who practice, or people who are expert in emotional intelligence, they tend to manipulate other people emotionally, which is absolutely not true, and one of the biggest myths about emotional intelligence. Also, emotional intelligence is not about being nice always. People think that individuals who practice emotional intelligence, they are very sweet, they talk very nicely, they are always positive, which is not true. People who are emotionally intelligent, they know how to manage their emotions. It's not related to the fact that they are very sweet to other people, they don't get angry. Also, people think that the people who are intelligent emotionally, they're very positive. No, if you are a human being, right, you get to experience all the emotions. It's not only about positivities, it is also about negative emotions, it is also about negative behavior. But few people think that being emotional intelligence means that being positive always, talking very nice, very sweet, and again having a loads of energy, which is not true, because if you are human you will experience all the emotions. Even if you are emotionally intelligent, you tend to have your bad days, you tend to have your bad moods, you tend to have not so good talks, every time. Also, people think that emotional intelligence is all about emotions or being emotional, which is again a big myth about emotional intelligence. Moreover, you will surprise to know that people think that emotional intelligence is nothing but is empathy. So let me clarify here. Empathy is one of the part of emotional intelligence, but not the whole of it. We will see in a coming series that emotional intelligence has got various other components, and empathy tends to be one among those components. Also, people think that emotional intelligence, if you can be emotionally intelligent or you can be not so emotionally intelligent, and people think that this is a fixed trait, meaning thereby that if you are born with emotional intelligence, which is not true, because as you tend to learn other behaviors, you also tend to learn emotional intelligence. So as you progress in your life with your experiences, you always tend to become more and more emotionally intelligent. And having said that, it simply means that you tend to be mature, you tend to learn few things, and you also tend to unlearn few things. So emotional intelligence is a behavior which can always be learned with constant practice and constant efforts. So it's not that if you are emotionally intelligent you will always be right. If you're not emotionally intelligent you will never be. So it is a learned behavior which anybody and everybody can master, but the fact remains that you have to put a conscious effort. People believe that emotional intelligence is for building personal relationships. No doubt it is. Obviously, if you're emotionally intelligent, you tend to understand the emotions of your loved ones, you tend to build a good relationship with them. But it not only confines itself to the personal growth and development of an individual. If you are emotionally intelligent, you also will tend to have good relations at your workplace. So you tend to progress in your careers also if you are emotionally intelligent. So it's not only confined to your personal progress, but also it has got a major contribution in your professional growth. Also, few people believe that emotions doesn't have any role or any space in business life or corporate world, which is absolutely not true, because whenever you take a decision, it's not that only the rational mind is working, it is also the emotional side which works while you are taking decision. So it's not only confined to your personal growth, but also it has got a contribution in business, your businesses, your careers, and it does have a major role to play in your decision making as far as a professional or a business world is concerned. Also, people think that people who are emotionally intelligent don't have toxicity or negativity around them. They don't show toxic behavior. They do show, because as I said, that if you are human you will have all your emotions. No doubt you cannot always remain positive and happy and talking always sweet, but yes, you have your negativity, you have your negative talks also. But the fact remains that you tend to confine them. You don't let these emotions empower you. That is what emotional intelligence is. So you can have your negative talks also, but it does not empower you to take bad decisions which you repent later on. Also, people tend to believe that the ones who are emotionally intelligent, they don't need external approvals, they don't seek for acceptance, which is not true, because human behavior is something which will always seek and try to get all the approvals possible, because that is something which lead them to a better life. They feel happy listening good about themselves. So emotionally intelligent people also seek external approvals and appreciations from others. No doubt that doesn't affect them so much, but yes, it does give them that kick and the positivity which is required in everybody's life. So I believe in this episode of mine, few of your myths would have been cleared by now, and I believe you would know that there are a lot of myths, and believe me, these are few of them, right? There are many more myths of emotional intelligence which exist. I try to cover major in this video. I hope this helps. Also, I like you people to pen down any other myth which you have heard, or if you think it's a fact which you have heard but you have doubts about it, so you can always pen down in the comment box. I love to read and I love to respond. So thank you so much. Stay blessed always.